One of the main things that I get messaged about and that I see causing the most amount of distress in people is when they're going about organizing their shipment for their first or one of their first Amazon orders. And one of these main questions that I see people keep on coming back to is, where do they find the Amazon warehouse address, or what do they say when their supplier or their freight forwarder asks them for the port that they want it to be sent to? So I'm going to quickly cover for you what you can do to respond, whether it is you're just getting a quote for the shipping versus your actual shipment when you go to send the stock. Both become a very easy process once you get the hang of it, and I'll show you some examples in just a sec. But if you get any value from this video or it helps you out at all, it would help me so much if you could hit that like button, hit subscribe, get this video out to other people who are going on the same journey. But let's get into the first point on getting your shipment sorted. Now, firstly, and this part is super quick, if you're just getting a quote done for your shipment, so if your supplier is doing up a quote for you or you're working for a freight forwarder and they've said, hey, what's the address of the Amazon warehouse, or what port do you want us to send the goods to? All you need to do is Google either the Sydney or the Melbourne Amazon warehouse address. So it's going to show up for you then, and you can just provide this to whoever it is that's doing your shipment, whoever's asking for it, and they can do a quote based off that, because you're not going to be able to get the actual address that you know your shipment's going to go to until you know some certain details. So for the quote, it's fine just to say either one of those addresses, just pick the one that's closest to you. But then in comparison to this, when you're going to organize it for your actual shipment, this is when you're going to be paying someone to ship it for you. By then, you're going to know the details of how many boxes you have, how many cartons you have, how big they are, how much they weigh, and you're going to put all of this information into your Amazon Seller Central. You go into your inventory tab, and then in there where you've set up, or you'll have to set up the listing for that product, and then on the right, you'll go over to the drop-down menu, you'll hit send or replenish inventory, and you're going to go through that process. If you don't know how to do that, this video right here, and there'll be a little card, I explain how to do that in extreme detail. You're going to go through there, and then when you reach the end of that stage and you've put in all those details from your supplier, you're going to get given the actual address that you're going to ship it to. Now, the reason you can't do this earlier on is because once you've put all those details, like the weight, the size, how many, that is how Amazon is going to decide whereabouts to send your product, to which warehouse, right? They're going to send it to where they think it's going to be easiest for them to get that size boxes out to the best amount of people. And in some cases, I actually haven't experienced it yet here in Australia, but definitely when I sell in America, is that they might split your shipment up. Okay, so they might say, hey, I have a 1,000 piece order, and they'll say, hey, I want you to send 500 to Sydney, 500 to Melbourne, because we want it split so we can reach more people better. Okay, so sometimes you get unlucky and that is going to happen, but it's not until you have those details that you'll get the actual address that's going to show up in your Seller Central. So just to recap and conclude, for those people who might still be a little bit stuck, if you're organizing a quote, just Google the Sydney or Melbourne warehouse address and use that for your supplier, for your freight forwarder. And if you're getting ready to actually ship your stock, like it's been made and you've got the details of how many boxes, the size, the weight and everything, go into your Seller Central and make your shipping plan. Then you'll be given the actual address, and that is what you give to your supplier or your freight forwarder. And then once you've created the actual shipping plan in your Seller Central, you'll be able to print out your box labels, your pallet labels, and that's going to have the address, the proper address on it and everything there as well. So like I said, it might sound a bit overwhelming at first. Follow the tutorial, click the other video if you need help on the shipment plan. But once you've done it a couple of times, I promise you'll be totally fine. So I'm so proud of you for taking this extra step and working to be able to get your head around these more difficult concepts. Remember, if you do need any help with launching your product or going from the very start all the way to the very end, we have our Amazon Australia University. The link for it's down below. But I'm so proud of you guys. And remember, you're only that one product away from living the life of of your dreams. Thank you guys so much. I really hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.